Now, the other game, before we come to United, Spurs.
Yeah,
they've done very well.
They did extremely well. I watched that match, and actually, the scoreline flattered them a bit because. During the week, 1-0 or the first leg? No, not the first one. The second one. The second leg. Because Reece played really well. Made some brilliant saves.
First half in particular.
And so anything. Yeah, it's football. And it didn't happen, but they didn't stroll it by any means. Reece played well. He made some good saves, and they were well on top. And of course, Kane scored, got one chance, and he stuck in them. So it was a great result for them. But it wasn't as. It actually flattered them on the night, because as we know, football can change. They get a goal early on, and it's a different story altogether. Well, that's the way it works out. But no, Spurs over the 2 legs, you'd have to say it was a great result for them to do what they did. And
between themselves, United, most likely Man City, possibly Liverpool, possibly 4 out of 8.
Yeah.
Heading for the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Well, again, like we all know what's happening in the Premier League. We're not that familiar with the teams abroad. Like Real Madrid have gone, who are one of the big powers. We'll see how Liverpool get on with one of the big powers. They mightn't be quite the big powers.
They're going to Bayern 0-0 from the first leg in Anfield.
Yes, well, they could do it. Well, Bayern Munich are one of the big teams. Well, really big teams. But that happens. You have periods where. Real Madrid have got off the boil now. Maybe Bayern Munich have gone off the boil. We'll know next week, which leaves it open for the Premier League clubs to come in. But it'd be a big boost for the Premier League if you do get 4 teams. In the last 8.
Yeah. Is that again? Okay, we're only speculating, particularly in the case of Liverpool, it suggests. But even if you're 3, possibly 4, is that a fair reflection on the Premier League compared to the others, La Liga?
Well, that's it has to be, because like if you take the World Cup, it's an examination every 40 years of where the international teams are. Every year we have an examination of where all the Premier League clubs and actually the big teams in the Champions League. So obviously, if you got 4 teams, if it does happen, well then it's a biggie for the Premier League. There's no doubt, because that's the examination. The all teams have to play. And if Real Madrid are not doing their stuff, or Bayern Munich are not doing it well, that shows us that the Premier Leagues are on top. But we'll know next week anyway, for sure.
Yeah, and just before he leaves Spurs, Pochettino, does it look like he could be heading off pastures new at the end of the season now, after the job he's done there in Spurs?
Well, he could do. I think he's made some peculiar statements over the last 12 months, But the statement a couple of weeks ago when they were beaten at Burnley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He said, well, it could take 5 years or 10 years to get this team. But that's the most peculiar statement to make. I mean, if you were Harry Kane and some of the players in Dele Alli, say 5 years before we get to... I don't want to stay here for 5 years. It was the most peculiar statement to make, unless it was somebody who was looking
for money.
Well, no, I think he's...
Not himself, but money to spend.
Well, whatever the situation might be. And also, there'd definitely be an interest from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Especially now, I'd imagine.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And there could be an interest from Manchester United. So I think he's making statements which he's right to do from his own future, that there could be 5 years. In other words, I'm not very happy here.
Not sending out good signals to his own players, though.
Well, that's the problem. Whatever he's doing for himself, and he's talking about the 5, it can't be good for the players that are already playing there. It's not good.
Yeah.
There's a bit of manoeuvring going around all the time.
There seems to be.
Yeah.